Hey, what's up guys, it's Axel, and today I have something fun. We're checking out the DUNU x KOTO ITO. This is a 2DD 2BA hybrid IEM priced around $200. It's a collab between DUNU and a popular Japanese reviewer, so expectations are high. But before we dive in, I want to do a quick giveaway announcement for the channel subscribers. If you're subscribed to the channel, all you have to do is just drop a comment below to enter. In 10 days, a random winner will be announced only on the YouTube community tab. The winner will get one DUNU ITO from DUNU, and I want to say a huge thank you to DUNU for making this happen. And yeah, let's get started. Right, what comes in the box of the DUNU x KOTO ITO? You get this nice zipper storage carrying case, and you open that case. You know, you get your accessories here, the pairs of DUNU SNS ear tips, you get the candy ear tips, the modular connector, the brush, and so on. I will add pictures that show that. And of course, you do get this very nice cable. As you can see, it's a 4-wire weave. It's a nice cable, can be a bit stiff, but it's not microphonic, it's not memory prone. As you can see, stays flat on the desk, wraps easily, is well behaved with me. It's a really nice cable. The chin slider works, stays in place, and you get here the red connector at the end of it, so that is nice. And then you get the faceplate design. This is how the DUNU x KOTO looks like. You get the KOTO logo right here, left and right indicators. It's a resin build, but there is a resin nozzle as well with a proper lip to hold on to your ear tips. And this is how the faceplate looks like. It has this layered depth effect. Like, it seems like there's a clear layer on top, and then you get the words DUNU and ITO right here. Let me know what you think. I think it looks cool. Comfort-wise, for me, it's great. I don't have any pressure buildup with it. It's stable. I get a stable seal. It's very lightweight, and for me, it stays secure even when I move my head and everything. You know, it stays in my ear. Nozzle diameter is 6.1 millimeter at the widest point. And with that said, let's start by talking about the sound. So let's look at the frequency response graph, and you can see basically this is clearly tuned for bass lovers. You get a big sub bass boost, but the bass is controlled. It flattens out by around 300 hertz, and then you get mids that are forward, a treble that extends well, and I will describe this overall as a set that balances a strong bass boost with mid-range clarity and treble sparkle. As for the bass, this is a bassy set, so the sub bass here has a strong rumble, and there is enough mid bass to give it punch and weight. And what I like about that bass is how controlled it is. It's a tight bass, it's a textured bass, it's never bloated, and it's the kind of bass that feels like, you know, on bass heavy tracks you feel like you've got like small subwoofers next to your ears. Hip hop and EDM are amazing on these. Tracks like Kendrick Lamar's TV Off or Peekaboo, for example, literally tickle my ears with the rumble. For rock music, it sounds amazing as well. You get that weight and heft, you know, authority of kick drums. Listening to Polyphia's Chimera, for example. On EDM, you know, the sub bass rumble is visceral and super fun. But again, I want to mention that this amount of bass isn't gonna be for everyone. But if you're a bass lover and you love a strong bass boost, this is gonna be so much fun. Now, for the mids here, like, it was a surprise. Despite that strong bass boost, the mids are still clear and forward. Like, the male vocals have that fullness, have that weight, while female vocals are not husky, they're still natural sounding, and instruments have that sense of full-bodied presentation. Nothing sounds muffled or anything like that. You get a nice contrasty mid-range with that deep bass and giving you that sense of vocal clarity as well. In my opinion, very nice. You know, that's a good choice. If you got that bass, you gotta balance that out with a good mid-range clarity, and it was done nicely here. As for the treble, I feel also it's done really nicely here. You get a good amount of air, a good amount of sparkle to balance out that bass without it ever getting harsh or fatiguing or too forward. I feel it's nicely done. It isn't laid back and it isn't too forward, just the right amount to balance the bass and keep it lively. As for the technical performance, I would say detail retrieval here is good, separation is good, imaging is good as well, stage, you know, is good as well. You know, it still feels immersive. Like, for my technical scale, you know, I will say this roughly lands, let's say 30 to 40% between the Truth Ear Nova and the Elysian Pilgrim, which is a very nice place to be, you know, at this price point. But yeah, and let's start the comparison segment. So first of all, I will start, before I do that, I just want to say there are a lot of great IEMs around this price, but a lot of them, or most of them, have a different type of sound signatures. You want to like a specific head-to-head comparison, just drop a comment and I'll get back to you. But for now, I will say I will do the ones that make sense. First up, we have the DUNU Glacier. Now, this isn't really a direct comparison, but it's worth pointing out that the mid-range and treble tuning on the ITO actually looks really similar to the Glacier, just with the slightly tamer 4 to 6K region. Tonality wise, the E2 looks like kind of similar to the Glacier on the graph, just with the stronger bass boost. But don't get me wrong, they sound completely different. Bass quality, treble quality, level of detail, layering, and separation is completely different between those two IEMs. The Glacier is top tier and easily one of my all-time favorites. This is a true S tier IEM in my book. Still, the similarity in the frequency response graph in the mids and the treble was interesting enough that I wanted to bring it up. Next up, the Punch Audio Martilo, and this is a tri-bred IEM. Design-wise and build-wise, they're different, but both sets come with solid accessories. Both come with modular cables. The real difference here is in the treble. The Martilo has more sparkle, like hi-hats, for example, pop a lot more on the Martilo. And if I listen to something like maybe Memento Mori by Polyphia, that Martilo pushes those higher frequencies more forward. So there is a bit more micro detail in the treble. There's also a slightly enhanced sense of imaging. The imaging is more precise. Both sets bring fun, powerful bass with great quality. Both have clear mids considering the bass boost, and both extend well up top. Just the Martilo edges ahead if you want that extra treble sparkle and micro detail. Right, now let's talk about the Hisenior Mega 5 EST Bass Plus, and on paper it's the better set, but honestly diminishing returns hit hard here. To my ears, the E2 actually has the better bass. The bass on the E2 is tighter, it's more textured, it's more controlled, and it hits with a stronger sense of definition. I actually prefer the bass on the E2 and the Martilo more than the bass of the Mega 5 EST Bass Plus because of the definition. That tight, controlled attack feels more defined, I don't know, tighter, you know, texture, cleanliness, you know, more definition. The Mega 5 EST's mid-range sounds more natural, but it's also more laid back and dense. While the E2 pushes those mid-range forward, it's not as natural as the Mega 5 EST, but it gives you more energy, more clarity and vocal presence, and that makes it sound more engaging. Vocals pop way more on the E2, and that balance between that strong bass and that clear mids gives it a more engaging sound overall. Treble is where the Mega 5 EST pulls ahead. It is smoother, it's more natural sounding, the treble quality is better, hi-hats and high-frequency percussion sound more realistic. Not necessarily more airy, but more realistic. Overall, I feel the Mega 5 EST sounds a bit thicker, a bit denser in terms of the sound, fuller, you know, richer, while the E2 feels more dynamic and more contrast. Alright, who I recommend the E2 to? Obviously, number one, bass lovers who want that subwoofer-like rumble without losing clarity. People who are like hip-hop, people who like EDM, or anything that needs punchy, physical low end. I also recommend it for people who want that big bass, that fun sound, but also want the mids and vocals to sound forward and clear. And anyone who's looking for a fun, strong, bassy all-round around $200, this is a really great fun IEM. Every time I listen to it, I just smile. You know, it's a fun set, basically. Now, who I don't recommend it to? Obviously, anyone who's looking for a neutral sound or reference style tuning, this is not that, guys. And I don't recommend it for anyone who doesn't like a strong bass boost or feels overwhelmed by a heavy bass presence. And overall, I'm gonna say now my final rating for the DUNU E2, and here's what my rating system means. And I'm going to give the DUNU E2 a solid rating of 4 stars out of 5. It's a very competitive IEM. It's a fun IEM. It's a really fun IEM. And yeah, that's basically it. 4 out of 5. Great sound and great accessories, great build. Thumbs up. That's it for today's review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.